is emotional regulation? Well, the name of it would suggest that we regulate, as in we control our emotions. So when you look at children, for example, who are having absolute tantrums, then you know they're not emotionally regulated because they are crying and screaming and incredibly distressed, and they don't know how to rebalance themselves. So if we talk about the window of presence here, the window of presence is an idea where we have this window or this particular range of emotions that we can feel, and we can still stay connected to ourselves. But when we get to a certain point outside that window, that's when we feel anxiety or really strong anger that we can't control, like it's too much for us, it's overwhelming. Or we can feel really numb and depleted and depressed, and we can't get out of that either. So it's about being in that window when we go out on either anxious or depressed or whatever it is that feels overwhelming, that we can actually learn how to settle our system. Now, the irony of this is that emotional regulation is not about control. And this is the big myth that we need to dispel, because we cannot control our emotions. When we try to control them, that is when we cause problems for ourselves, because we're suppressing, we're tightening up, we're tensing. And that cuts us off. That's another way that we actually try to disconnect from ourselves. And disconnection is where we go when we feel trauma. So emotional regulation is not about controlling emotions. It's actually about noticing what you're feeling in that moment. So suddenly you might be really anxious and you suddenly realize, oh my gosh, I can feel the anxiety. Now, you're not going to be able to control the anxiety by going, oh gosh, let's not be anxious. I need to talk myself out of this. That doesn't work. Even if you say, I'm safe, it's fine, nothing's going to happen, you're still feeling anxious. So what you want to be doing is you want to be learning how to be with those sensations in the body in a way that doesn't overwhelm you. So you notice the sensations in your body. The sensations are key here. And it might be that you feel really tight in your chest, or you feel a choking feeling, or whatever it is that you feel when you're anxious. You might feel your stomach going zzz, whatever it is that you feel. It's about being with that experience and the sensations in your body in a way that says that it's okay that they're there. Because in that moment that you say it's okay that those sensations are there, even if they're unpleasant, then you're back in your window of presence. Because those sensations don't own you anymore. And when the sensations don't own you anymore, you have control over what actions you take. You won't say things you're going to regret because you're feeling so anxious or scared or angry that you just go blah, or shutting down so much that you can't do the things that are important to you. You'll be able to be with those sensations and identify what you need. Maybe it's, I need a break right now so that I can settle myself again. Maybe it's a, let's come back to this conversation later because right now I'm not going to be at my best. So emotional regulation is not about control. It's about noticing when you're outside your window of presence and you're overwhelmed, and then tuning into the sensations that you feel in your body, going away and spending time with them, letting them be just as they are. Don't try to change them because that's control, and we can't control them. We'll end up tying knots, and then our cells get tense, and then we stiffen up, and we end up in all sorts of issues. We end up frightened of ourselves, actually, frightened of what we feel in our body. So come back, tune in, notice the sensations, use your breathing as a way to help you to just to be able to tune into what you're feeling internally. It's not easy because the sensations you're feeling are really uncomfortable. I get that 100%. But that's why we need to make friends with us, because otherwise they own us, they control our behavior, and we end up doing things that we don't feel good about, or we live lives in fear of feeling the sensations we feel in our body. So we avoid doing lots of things we like to do. So I invite you to take on that way of looking at emotional regulation. Let go of the idea of control and transform it to the idea of being with the sensations in your body in a way that feels not overwhelming anymore, that you can cope with. And that has to happen only through being with your sensations. You can't talk yourself into that. The mind is limited in those moments. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you.